We've all had problems in our life. And just about the time we get to that point where we don't think we can take on any more of a burden, we run into a little inspiration that makes us take that extra step. Well, we've run into it about 4 miles south of Weehawken, because behind me is the house of a family that will be all the inspiration you need to take that extra step. Judge and Mrs. David Taunton have decided as long as there are children in need, they'll have a place to stay and a family to be part of. The Tauntons have dedicated their lives and their home to the children and have no regrets.
I try to imagine the difference that possibly we've made in some of these children's lives. The little girl that had been shifted from pillar to post, for instance, the difference that we will make in her life from that instance when she was 6 months old and was horrified of being near any man. She had apparently been terribly mistreated by some men. But now, you know, for her to get up in my lap and to be, you know, I'm her daddy and she loves me and she's just lost that fear of men. Well, that's just an example, you know. At such an early age, they can already have very severe problems in adjusting. But, you know, just to imagine the difference that we can make in one little child's life, and to amplify that over 30, 40, 50 children, or maybe 100 children that we'll see come through this facility before, you know, I get too old to be able to help children in the fashion that I am now. A long time ago, I read something very impressive that Aristotle wrote, and that was that we can be happy only to the extent that we live up to our potential. And I've been heartbroken by seeing so many children raised in a setting that just does not allow them much of an opportunity to develop their potential. A lot of them have very little chance to survive, much less to develop the potential that is instilled within them. So what we want to do is, as far as the facility, is provide a facility and a family setting that will allow as many children as we possibly can to have an excellent opportunity to develop the potential that's instilled within them.
Now, your background notwithstanding in terms of your childhood, what impact do you think being a judge and seeing the social process in a courtroom, what impact do you think that's had on this?
I think essentially what I've learned there has been that by the time a child comes before me, say an 18-year-old, he's already in trouble. And by the time it gets to the point that he gets the attention of the system, it's too late. Those children didn't have a chance, a lot of them. The biggest part of them didn't have a chance. They're right exactly where they could have been predicted to be, before a judge, in a jail cell. We spend millions of dollars at that point, you know, sentencing them to Rayford or to providing facilities such as Rayford or the other systems throughout the state. But I think it's too late. It's too little, too late, that old expression that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. You know, you've heard that saying. And I think anything we can do when they're this age, it's this little girl right here, she'll never go to jail, I don't believe.
Some we take in, you know, we know we're not going to be able to keep, and you try not to get too attached to them, you know, over a short period of time. And some, like those two, when you think they're yours, then they stay overnight and you automatically are attached to them, and then you have to give them up. But basically, just to be able to help the children and to know that you're doing some good, and you see what all the children these days are getting into, and if you can help just a little bit, you know, it's worth every bit of the work. We get told we're crazy a lot, you know. People say, oh, you're crazy to do that. But, you know, it's just something that we want to do. And children are the most important thing this world has going for them. Without them, you know, we're all sunk. So if we can move them along a little and inspire them to be as much as they can be, then I think it's worth it, you know, the sacrifice. We've had some older children, and some have turned out better than others that we've tried to help. And to think that a child will go through life in an unpleasant situation. You read every day in the paper about children that their parents have beaten to death, or that they're in the hospital because of their parents, or they've just been let loose on the street, you know. the heartache would be to realize that maybe we could have helped that child had they known we were here and been willing to let us help them rather than them going through that.
We have no connections with the state. We don't seek any help financially from the state. Would not accept any. We don't seek financial help from individuals, but we do have friends of the family that help, people that care about children and know what I'm trying to do, that contribute from time to time.
Are you doing okay financially?
The biggest part of the finance is strictly through my own effort in the family. Well, you can see here, I wish we were much further along. We spent probably $250,000 so far on the facility. I plan to spend at least that much more, possibly more than that. We never go hungry. We've recently bought a cafe, and that's helped some, a restaurant in the nearby town Weaver-Hitchcock. So the children are always well dressed. We make ends meet, and that's about the way it's been so far.
It's worth whatever we've had to give up. You know, we don't do a lot. We don't have a lot of extra things, but we have the things that count.
According to God's blessings, then I'll spread them as far as they'll go. You know, there's a little saying, brighten the corner where you are, and that's exactly what we intend to do.